You just decided to watch this. Or did you? Today, we're diving into one of the biggest, oldest questions there is. Are you really in charge of your own life? You know, we all have this incredibly powerful feeling of being in control. From what you eat for breakfast to huge life decisions, our lives feel like a long series of choices that we make. But what if that feeling, as real as it is, isn't actually the whole story? Just think about the first choice you made this morning, coffee or tea. It feels so simple, right? It feels like you made that call. But there's a debate that's been raging for centuries that suggests this tiny personal decision might just be the end result of a chain of events that started long before you were ever born. The 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer absolutely nailed this problem. He said, "Man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills." So, what does that mean? Well, you can choose the coffee, sure, but could you have chosen to want the tea instead? I mean, where do our desires even come from in the first place? So, this powerful feeling of being in the driver's seat smacks headfirst into an equally powerful idea from physics and philosophy: determinism. And this, right here, is where the real fight begins. So, what on earth does that mean in plain English? Well, it's like this. If you could know the exact state of every single atom in the universe at the moment of the Big Bang, and you knew all the laws of physics, you could theoretically predict everything that would ever happen from that point on, including, yes, you choosing coffee this morning. In a deterministic universe, your choice wasn't just likely, it was totally inevitable. And that is the tension that has kept thinkers up at night for over 2,000 years. If your actions are just the unavoidable result of a cosmic domino effect, in what sense are they truly your actions? Is free will just the most convincing, most powerful illusion we've ever experienced? So, how have thinkers even tried to solve this giant puzzle? Well, the arguments generally fall into a few major camps. Let's map them out so we can see what's what. Okay, so the first big split in the debate comes down to this. Is the universe basically a predictable machine just running on cause and effect? That's determinism. Or is there genuine, true randomness baked into the fabric of reality? That's indeterminism. And where you stand here sends you down a very, very different path. And from those two big paths, we get three main positions. You've got hard determinists who say, yep, it's all determined, so free will is a total fiction. Then you have libertarians, and we're talking philosophical libertarians here, not political ones, who say, nope, we are genuinely free, so the universe can't be fully determined. And then there are the compatibilists, who try to have it both ways, arguing that free will and determinism aren't actually enemies at all. Now, compatibilism is a really popular view, and this is a great way to wrap your head around it. The philosopher Daniel Dennett points out that a chess computer's code is totally deterministic, right? But it still analyzes options, it evaluates consequences, and it chooses a move. For compatibilists, that ability to make rational, unforced decisions is free will, even if the machinery behind it is just a predictable chain of cause and effect. For centuries, this was mostly a debate for philosophers in armchairs. But in the modern era, oh, things got way more interesting. Over the last few decades, science has entered the ring, with neuroscientists and physicists bringing all sorts of new evidence that makes the whole conflict even sharper. So on one side, you have neuroscience. Back in the 1980s, these wild experiments by Benjamin Libet found that brain signals for an action, like say flicking your wrist, could be detected milliseconds before the person consciously decided to do it. It kind of suggests our feeling of making a decision is just us becoming aware of what our brain has already put in motion. But then on the other side, you have quantum physics, which shows us that at the tiniest subatomic level, the universe isn't a clockwork machine at all. It's probabilistic. There's real, undeniable randomness built in. But wait a second, does that quantum randomness actually save free will? A lot of people argue, no way. As this Reddit user so cleverly put it, if your choice is just the result of some random particle decay in your brain, you're not in control. A choice caused by randomness isn't any more free than one caused by a long chain of events. You're just trading a puppet master for a roll of the dice. Okay, so why do we care so much about this? I mean, this might all sound super abstract, but this is where the rubber really meets the road. The answer to this question has massive, and I mean massive consequences for our most important social institutions, especially our ideas about morality and justice. And that leads to this incredibly stark question that a lot of people who reject free will pose. If a person's actions were the inevitable result of their genes, their environment, the state of the universe, can we really hold them morally responsible? Can we blame them? I mean, our entire justice system is built on the premise that people choose to do what they do. Look, without free will, you can still justify locking someone up to protect society or maybe to try and rehabilitate them. But that idea of justice, the idea that they deserve to be punished, that gets really, really shaky. If a person truly could not have done otherwise, what does it even mean to say that they're to blame? So, given that we seem to be stuck between these two pretty unsatisfying dead ends, either we're puppets of fate or we're puppets of chance, some thinkers have suggested that maybe, just maybe, we're asking the wrong question altogether. Maybe free will isn't a simple yes or no thing. Maybe it's something way more complex, something that actually evolves. And this brings us to a fascinating way out of the mess, the two-stage model. In stage one, randomness, that quantum stuff, isn't the decider, it's the idea generator. It creates a menu of genuine alternative possibilities for you. Then, in stage two, your character, your values, your reasoning, your determined self selects from that menu. Now, what's so cool about this model is that it doesn't require any magic to break the laws of physics. Instead, freedom is a really sophisticated biological ability. It's the power of a complex brain to dream up new options and then use its wisdom to choose between them. In this view, freedom doesn't fight the laws of nature. It actually emerges from them. And this ultimately reframes the entire debate. Perhaps freedom isn't a switch you either have or you don't. Perhaps it's a matter of degree. By learning more, by understanding our own biases, by expanding our imagination, we actually increase the number of possibilities we can generate, and we improve our ability to select wisely among them. It's about the very real, lifelong project of building a self that has more options and better tools to choose. So the real question isn't just, are you free? It's, who do you want to become?